Good morning, Unity on the Bay, a spiritual path for positive living. I am Reverend Ana Quintana, your associate minister, and it's really an honor for me to be here with all of you this morning for many reasons, but one of them is that we have awesome Latin music today. Sorry, I'm biased. Huepa, huepa. Yes, and Reverend Juan has an awesome lesson inspired on the book Oneness with All of Life by Edgar Tolle, and that's the book we're doing in our full spirit group program now. Also, we'd like to take a moment to make us all aware of the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Sorry for the redundancy. As we wear pink today, we remember those who have gone through that, like myself. I'm a breast cancer survivor. And those who are going through that this very moment, we hold health and wholeness. And to those who didn't make it, we hold their families in resilience, strength, and trust. May we see a cancer-free world. I'm gonna hold that intention and hold it with me. Also, as you know, this ministry is beyond adults. We have a beautiful children's ministry, and right now as we stand here in the sanctuary or online, we are reminded that it's the time of inspiration and learning for our children. If you have a child you would like to influence and for the rest of his or her life, bring him to that ministry. These principles are principles of power that can really shift your dear one for the rest of their lives. Also, I would like to tell you about a few things that are happening here that I'm excited about, and the very first one has to do with what is happening next Sunday, October 23rd, only one service, and our beloved Reverend Juan del Hierro will be, sorry, I like to say it again, crowned as our senior minister. We have an installation service. It's going to be officiated by our friend, Reverend Martha Creek, along with Reverend Chris and many other guests. As you know, right after the service, we'll have a wonderful lunch. I already know the menu, and believe me, it's delicious. So I hope you can stick around afterwards and enjoy that lunch and celebration. If you're planning to, which I know you are, please RSVP on our website. Again, it will only be one service at 11:15. And Trick or Treat Halloween, Saturday, October 30th. Our Youth and Family Ministry is welcoming everybody to their trunk or treat event in the parking lot right after our 11:15 service. We will have cars decorated for Halloween and plenty of candy for kids and you, adults, in our community. So bring your children to a safe and fun Halloween experience. Our dearest platform assistant, the one and only Faye, couldn't make it this morning, even though she wanted to give a very important announcement, because it so happened that she has exhausted herself helping Reverend Juan and our board president, Steve, on Friday evening. We would like to show you why.
Hello? Hey, Rev. What's going on? What? What do you mean you haven't gotten your suit yet? Reverend Juan, the gala is like tomorrow. No, I'm just sitting around the house with my dog and my favorite heels on. I'll be right there. Don't move anywhere. I'm going to call our president, Steve, and I'm going to have him meet us at Men's Warehouse, okay? I'll be right... No, do not pick anything. I don't trust you. I'll be right there. sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I had to stop and get some cafecito, you know. Woo!
Hey, it's 5 o'clock. Did you really need cafecito at this time?
Yes, Reverend Juan. Cafecito and shoes. That's what make all this work.
All right. Let's focus.
Okay.
We need to find something elegant here. You know, something unique.
Elevated.
You know how they say at Union of the Bay, we are all unique expressions of God. And this year's gala is the prism of us.
Steve, you're an amazing board president, but leave the preaching to me.
All right, how about both
Elegant.
of you just chill out and let's get this done. We've got to find something for the gala.
All right, let's go.
Go. Spread apart. Reverend Juan, this would look awesome on him. Our board president, Steve McCoy, this is perfect. His complexion and this salmon is everything. Wait a minute, need a...
Juan, Rev Juan.
Steve. Prez Steve.
Want to find out what I chose for Reverend Juan and our board president, Steve McCoy, for the gala this year? Well, you're going to have to wait to find out. Get your tickets today, November 5th, our Unity on the Bay Love and Light Gala. It's all about the prism, baby. Jungle Island. You don't have your tickets? What are you waiting for? Grab them today. See you then.
So much talent, Reverend Juan. You have an option. So, yes, get your ticket today. They're really selling out, so you don't want to miss that. And we want to take an opportunity to thank our presenting sponsor, City National Bank, who's doing great things in the community, and also thank our gold sponsor, Ackerman, and silver sponsor, BNY Wealth. Having said so, I would love to have Reverend Juan come up here to the platform. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anna. Actually, you'd all be surprised to learn how much Faye does stress me. Sometimes I actually just get packages in the mail that say, like, wear this. So, but good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being at Unity on the Bay and being part of not only this Sunday experience, but just being a part of the heart and the consciousness that we are. Whether you've been coming for a very long time like me, and maybe some of you even before me, or this is your first time, just know how valued your presence is. Because it comes with the love, the wisdom, and the guidance of God that is already within you. So we trust that through our connection, you'll just continually and will be continually inspired to live it in greater and greater ways. So if this is your first time at Unity on the Bay, whether it's in the room or you're watching from home for the first or second time, we'd just love to get to know you more. We'd love to be connected with you. We'd love to share with you what are the things that are going on at Unity on the Bay that we believe could really shift and create some changes in your life, if that's what you're looking for, just even a greater sense of community. And we also just want to ask you, like, how can we be of service to you? So the way to do that is either you can follow the prompts that are on the screen and fill that information out. If you're in the room after the service, you can go see Dennis, who is at the Welcome Center, at the Welcome Table. And anybody that's here for the first time and goes through that process will give you a gift for being a part of it. And as I shared actually with a few people earlier today, I should say what that gift is because it's really inspiring. It's a Starbucks gift card. No one says no to a Starbucks gift card, right? And if you do want to say no to it, pick it up and give it to me. So, all right, well, with that, we are on the third week of our Spirit Groups program based on Eckhart Tolle's Oneness with All Life, as Reverend Anna was mentioning. And although if you didn't sign up to be part of the groups, that is closed, there's still a way that you can not only come and be a part of the Sunday services that are inspired by the book and by the words of Eckhart Tolle, but you can also do a solo journey. So you can sign up to get the journal on our website, and you can follow along and just go deeper into the pages, the message, and really be in the practices, because Reverend Anna and I have been talking. The book is really simple. It's the practice of it where, there's the meat. So you can go to our website and be a part of that. And with that, we're going to get started by I'm going to invite you to step into this awareness that is already within you. I invite you to close your eyes, to take a deep breath. Just allowing yourself to be more fully connected to the reality of life that is taking place in you and as you. Recognizing the presence of God as our life. We recognize the full potential of abundance and prosperity, the source of our joy and good, the source of our wholeness, our healing. And so whatever it is that brought you to this moment and to this experience, just know that not only are you being blessed by it, but you are a blessing for it. And so knowing how fully we share who we are with the rest of this community, the rest of humanity, how we fully now in this moment affirm and connect and receive all the love, the light, the harmony that God is, we give thanks. And we recognize that in this very moment, we say yes to a life of joy, to a life of peace, to a life of harmony, to a life where everyone is treated and respected and honored for unique expressions of God. As we honor ourselves, we honor others. As we honor God, we honor the light, the love, everything that God is in us. And we live life with pure joy. Thank you, God, for this way of being. Thank you, God, for this teachings, this community, and thank you, God, that we can live life and know that our life is centered in God. Thank you, God, and so it is. Amen. Let's have a wonderful Sunday experience.
Thank you, Reverend Juan. Good morning, Unity on the Bay. It gives me great pleasure to welcome to the stage the wonderful Daniel Marzullo.
Thank you. You guys are so kind. I am about to make you all get up and dance on this Sunday morning. You guys ready to dance? Being that it's Hispanic heritage, we gotta spice things up here a little bit in Unity on the Bay. much fun. Way too much fun to have that much fun in church here. But thank you for allowing me to bring some joy and moves into your life.
So thank you, Daniel. I'm like, it's Hispanic Heritage Month, so I didn't feel like I could say Danielle. I had to say like Daniel. Everybody, Daniel. And I hope you've really been enjoying, as this is the last Sunday under Hispanic Heritage Month, I hope you really just enjoyed how we have been showcasing not only the way in which Spirit speaks in so many beautiful different languages and through different cultures, but the heritage of the Hispanic community within Unity on the Bay, and how that in itself is an inspiration. So you'll have a little bit more music to celebrate that shortly. I also want to take a moment to thank John and Carmen, who joined the choir, the music ministry, and the band to be a part of it. So. And since we're in the midst of so much gratitude, I want to share with you what a joy it is to invite somebody to come up here who not only has been an amazing support and expression of sacred service at Unity on the Bay in so many ways, but today is also representing a sacred service team that we really want to honor and highlight. It's the group, it's the Spirit Groups Council, who is the one that actually creates all of the different journals and programs for our Spirit Groups program, and many of them have been doing it now for years. We have this year we had 4 programs that we moved through, and it's really through their commitment to how each of us can be invited into this journey. So to read the daily word, we're gonna invite John Felix to come up here as we celebrate our Sacred Service Team of the Month, our Spirit Groups Council. Yes, John.
Good morning, Unity. It is an honor to serve with the spiritual group and the Spirit Council, and to be a service to everyone here. Today's daily word is joy. I delight in simple joys. Joy, it has been said, comes much more from wanting what we have than from having what we want. Reflecting on this thought, I embrace the simple joys that this day offers. I enjoy my morning coffee or tea, savoring its flavor and fragrance. Walking through my neighborhood, I greet my friends, smile at people I haven't yet met, and enjoy the fresh air. I find satisfaction in taking care of my home, working at my job, or helping a friend. Even if I am not with them today, I feel joy as I think of my connection with the people I care most about. I know joy whenever I look for possibilities rather than focusing on problems. My greatest joy is my awareness that wherever I am, whatever I'm doing, God is always with me. Today's daily word is inspired by Psalm 16:11. You show me the path of life. In your presence there is fullness of joy. In your right hand are pleasures forevermore. Enjoy.
Listen to what you're saying.
So now is that time in our service where we get invited to simply be, contemplating and centering ourselves in the experience of God. And so I invite you, if you haven't done so already, to gently close your eyes, taking a pause from the world outside of us, allowing ourselves to see within, to see and experience the presence of God. A presence that is here and now. Join me in taking a deep, refreshing breath. And allow yourself, with every breath in, to go deeper, to move further within, as you exhale. With every exhale, just know that you are letting go and releasing that which doesn't serve you, that which doesn't serve this moment and experience. Peeling away that which is not real in truth, in the space of divinity. And so removed from this experience, removed from your thoughts and understanding, is any sense that you may be limited, unworthy. You simply surrender those thoughts, which are only thoughts. And we replace it now with affirmations of our truth. And so as I speak these words, let them be your words. I am holy. I am worthy. I am the expression of good. And so you are awake to truth. You recognize that within you is all that you need, for within you and within this moment is the full presence of God flowing through and as you, being through you. just you. Let us take another deep breath. We are the oneness of all life. We experience this oneness through the presence of God in us. Once again, we take a deep breath. And for a short while, let us simply be in the silence. In this moment, know that you are witnessed and seen for the love of God, the light of God, the power of God that you embody. And so we give thanks for you. And we give thanks for this understanding of our truth. And we allow our gratitude to be expressed as we say together, thank you, God. Thank you, God. So it is, and amen.
The song that we're going to be singing is in Spanish. It's called Más Allá. It's about life, love, forgiveness, and peace, which the world can always want.
Cuando brindas perdón en lugar de rencor, hay paz en tu corazón. Cuando sientes compasión del amigo y su dolor, cuando miras la estrella que oculta la niebla, hay paz en tu corazón, más allá del rencor, de las lágrimas y el dolor, brilla la luz del amor. cuando brota una oración, cuando aceptas el error, cuando encuentras lugar para la libertad, hay una sonrisa más. Cuando llega a ser la razón y se va la incomprensión, cuando quieres luchar por un ideal, hay una sonrisa más. Hay un rayo del sol a través del cristal. Hay un mundo mejor cuando aprendes a amar. De las lágrimas y el dolor brilla la luz del amor dentro de cada corazón. Ilusión capital, con tus sueños a volar. Siembra paz, brinda amor, que el mundo entero pide más. Cuando alejas el temor y prodiga tu amistad, cuando mismo cantar has unido tu voz, hay paz en tu corazón. Cuando buscas con amor y descubres tu verdad, cuando quieres forjar por un mañana mejor, hay paz en tu corazón. Más allá del rencor, de las lágrimas y el dolor, brilla la luz del amor dentro de cada corazón. Ilusión, bendición, pon tus sueños a volar. Siembra paz, brilla amor, que el mundo entero pide más. Give it up for the Unity Band. And the singers, of course. Thank you.
Beautiful. Beyond the pain, beyond the tears, there is love, there is light. Live your truth, live your dreams. Who can resonate with that? Right? Again, the experience of God is beyond language. It's more than the language. It's a beautiful thing that we can experience. And language is important. And I'm inviting you to join me the next 2 Saturdays at a special workshop that we're having. It's going to be amazing, if I do say so myself. It's Speaking Love. And it really is there to support us for those who may be in a particular relationship where there needs to be a greater communication, right? Or whether there's something going on in other aspects of your life where it's asking you to not only own who you are, but then be able to speak to that and have others be able to honor that. And so this workshop about speaking love is really about centering ourselves as first responsible for our experiences, recognizing our needs, recognizing the feelings that may be going on, and then speaking what our needs are. So it uses nonviolent communication, and it also uses the skills of crucial conversations. You know, those conversations that many of us have been hiding from, that we may need to be having with others. This is a workshop that gives you the tools in order for you to be able to speak to that. So we'd love for you to join us the next 2 Saturdays for the Speaking Love workshop, and you can find more information on our website. And so I'm just gonna own it right here and right now. I am fully enlightened. There's nothing else for me to do. I mean, I'm gonna be the senior minister of Unity on the Bay. I'm really enlightened, and you're welcome. I'm gonna share this enlightenment with you because I want you to be just as enlightened as me. So I'm gonna gift you out of the love in my heart, these affirmations, okay? And I hope that they help you the way that they have helped me. Are you ready for them? I mean, these will really shift your life. I'm enlightened, remember that. Take a deep breath. As I let go of my feelings of guilt, I am in touch with my inner sociopath. There's more. I assume full responsibility for my actions, except the ones that are someone else's fault. Take another breath. I no longer need to punish, deceive, or compromise myself unless I want to keep my job. I know for some of you that rang true, right? I am willing to make the mistakes if somebody else is willing to learn from them. And this is the one that really catapulted me, okay? So this one you may not even want to listen to. You may want to just write it down. I am grateful that I am not as judgmental as all those other many self-righteous people around me. You got it? Have a beautiful Sunday, everyone. No. Yeah, right. But you know, I gotta say, like the mind plays with us, right? And we think that we've gone to a certain level of enlightenment and consciousness and mindfulness. And for me at least, there's always a next moment. There's always some work to do. There's always a next step. There's always some new level of the onion to peel back, a new way of being that we are invited to go deeper into and come out of it to express it in greater ways in the world, right? And so it's a moment-by-moment decision that we make to be conscious, to be awakened. Now, I gotta tell you that I love that we are at Unity on the Bay, because if you're here, whether you're in person, whether you're watching from home, whether this is your first time or you've come many times to Unity on the Bay, there was already something within you that said there's more to life. There was something within you that said there is a deeper truth that I can connect with and touch and allow that to not only be a blessing for me, for us, but allow me to be a greater blessing in the world. And so there has been already a moment, that aha moment of awakening, that each and every one of us, I truly believe, if you are in this room, you have had that moment of awakening. The question is, can you live from that awakened state? Can you hold on, right, to that aha and allow it to influence who you are, how you are, and what you get to live into and allow others to live into around you? More and more, there's work to be done. How many of you thought, like me, that as soon as you got to a certain level of enlightenment, no challenges, no difficulties? And I was thinking about this, like life being easier. And I will say this, I do think life gets easier. It doesn't mean that there's no challenges, but I think we flow through the challenges with more ease. And so that to me is something to also just be conscientious of, that we are creating the tools and the practices and the understandings that will support us in moving through whatever life has in store for us with a greater sense of peace, harmony, and ease. Amen? Thank God, right? Thank God. And so this moment-by-moment invitation that we are asked to move into, there's some responsibility, right? Like we owe it to that moment of aha and that moment of awakening to keep it going. We owe it to ourselves to be able to do that because we just know better now. And we know that there is a different way of responding and being in the world. And so really awakening is a big responsibility. Whether you were conscious of it or not, you said yes to it. The question is, are you committed to your yes, right? And so Eckhart Tolle in the book that we are reading, and it's like these excerpts of A New Earth, he talks about that. And he says this, with the grace of awakening comes responsibility. You can either try to go on as if nothing has happened, or you can see its significance and recognize the arising of awareness as the most important thing that can happen to you. And so awake and allowing that awakening to rise and the responsibility you have to you, to your dreams, to your aspirations, to the way that you feel about who you are and how you are in the world. And so first and foremost, I think we don't give enough ourselves credit for that first moment of awakening, that first moment of truth, that questioning that was within us. So let's do that. Let's honor it. Let's celebrate it. Give yourself a pat on the back. You're awakened. You're awakened. Pat yourself on the back. Like celebrate it. And celebrate that you're in this room, you're connecting to this message and to who we are as a spiritual community and this book and this program because you also want to continue to live in that awareness. Now, that awakening, I think, really invites us to two main questions that we've been talking about in the last couple of weeks. And it's the who are we being and what are we doing? Who are we being and what are we doing? Now, if you're like me, you have a lot of practice with what am I doing? Because if you're like me, it's like, wait, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing, right? And how blessed of a life we could have if before we move into the, wait, what am I doing, to the, wait, who am I being? Who could I be? What can I do? Now, we've been talking about the power of the presence of the I am that we have, that space within us that is aware of the thoughts, of the judgments, of the ways of being, is aware of the truth within ourselves. And when we become aware that we are not our thoughts, that we are not our feelings, that we aren't even our actions, that we are the beingness of those things, we have power. And we take responsibility and we are able to own and be empowered by our beingness towards thinking, feeling, and acting. And so this is an invitation to really go deeper into our beingness, but not get stuck on the beingness. I believe, personally, that also the monkey mind wants to sometimes keep us from acting out of our beingness. And it's like, oh no, you got to be more enlightened before you go do that. You got to be in meditation for at least another 5 hours before you take out your dog and know which side of the road to go on, right? Like there is power in bringing harmony to both of those things, because we are both of those things. We are 100% spiritual. You've heard me say this before. I believe, should I say this? Spiritual beings having a human experience, I get it. and we're 100% spiritual and we're 100% human. It's, like the idea of separating those two is dualism, right? Like we're supposed to be moving into an understanding of oneness, and we can be in harmony with that understanding, that we can bring harmony to those two aspects of who we are, and that the beingness informs the way we show up in the world. Our spiritual beingness informs the way in which we live out our humanity. And so 100% of both of them, and it's 100%, both of those things are important part of the process. And when we realize the importance of both, then we realize that not only do we have a divine purpose for within and our beingness, but we also have a divine purpose for our doingness, and that they can coexist, and actually one informs the other. And so today is really about recognizing that we have multiple purposes for being in this world. And they're both beautiful, and they both, the more that they work in conjunction with each other, allow us to be a greater presence of God in the world for ourselves and each other. Eckhart Tolle says, your life has an inner purpose and an outer purpose. Inner purpose concerns being and is primary. First and foremost, that's where we go, within. Outer purpose concerns doing and is secondary. Not because they're not, it's less important, but because it's just part of a process. You go within, like part A is not more important than part B is not important than A. They're one and the same. They're part of one process. Going within, recognizing our divine purpose, and then seeing how that divine purpose moves out into the world. I found that if we are solely concerned with our outer purpose, we can do a lot of great things in the world. I actually feel like even before I recognized my own inner divinity, I was doing some good work. Like, I'm not gonna minimize the work that I was doing. I do recognize that I wouldn't be able to do it for much longer, because the outer purpose and being focused on the outer has us believe that our energy is like just through sleeping, right? Like just like through when we are solely focused on the outer world and we think that that's where we are empowered from, we don't recognize that the fullness of God, which is the energy that we have access to fulfill our purpose, that's what doesn't get repleted, right? Like that is the source that is so deep that it'll never be fully depleted and that we can always go into. And so I don't knock having that outer purpose and living from that place. And I think that moving first within and being that what sources, inspires, and guides is the way to lasting change in our lives and in the life of humanity. And so when the basis for our actions are in alignment with each other, with the present moment, with our beingness, really our actions then are not only energized, but they are empowered. How do you want it to show up? How do you want to show up? What is your beingness inviting you into? So first purpose is to go within, right? Like to become conscious, aware, to be in that presence of the presence, moment by moment by moment, and allow that to then be the guide that says, and this is how you're going to show up with it. This is how you are going to do what is yours to do with it. Now, if you follow my post on Facebook or if you've been around me for the last couple of weeks, I'm just a big ball of emotion these days. With just everything going on and the installation happening next Sunday. But I've been really like present to how it is an expression of my purpose, and how I am getting to live my purpose, and also being able to really honor the fact that it's taken place because I did first and foremost that inner purpose, that inner work. Because before Unity, I was doing great work. I was doing great things, and I was moving in the right direction. I was in the field of where I was heading, but it was only when I went within and recognize the truth of me and my beingness that the road actually got really clear. I was in the vicinity, but I got to the place where it really was, right? And so a few of you know, because it was on my social media, but yesterday I got Friday, a really beautiful invitation from Spirit and a guidance from Spirit as I've been sort of like looking at my purpose, I was in Hollywood, Florida, just in case, just like 20 minutes away, not 5 hours. And I was by my high school. I went to Shaman Madonna in Hollywood, and I ended up like realizing I was there by no mere coincidence, and I was meant to go in, and I was meant to go into the chapel where I was actually a student campus ministry leader in high school, and I led retreats for other students. I received retreats, and I meditated in that chapel, and just was so in awe of how Spirit had been guiding me to my right purpose and how I was heading in that direction. I remember, and some of you know the story, like even at elementary school, I went to Our Lady of the Lakes for elementary school and middle school, and my parents would always be greeted by Father Stack with, "Oh, and how are the parents of our future priest of Our Lady of the Lakes?" I'm like, I mean, maybe. We'll talk about it in a few years, right? But, you know, and then when I went to this chapel, at Chaminade, the Bible was open, and and of course, I like signs. I want to just check it out. I like signs if, you know, they're going to mean something good for me, right? But so I went up to the Bible, and it was open to the story of John the Baptist. And they were asking John the Baptist, "Who are you?" And his response was, you know, "I'm not the Messiah." So they asked him again, "Who are you? What do you say about yourself?" And he says, "I am the voice of one crying out of the wilderness, make straight the way of the Lord." Now for me, in my experience, right, like me being a servant of God and inspiring myself and supporting others to hear that Christ voice within, like there was significance. And there's significance for each and every one of us because we are all John the Baptist to our own Christhood. We are the ones that prepare the way for ourselves to step into our good, our Christ presence, who we truly are. We're the ones that make the choice of saying, who are we? Making that choice of saying, first, the inner purpose, and then let it inspire the doingness that we're about. And so how are you doing that for yourself? How are you willing to be that for yourself and for each other? Right? Like that's the beauty of being in community. We get to witness how it impacts those around us in a conscious way. And so first and foremost, right, like the inner purpose. And then asking ourselves from that place, what is the doing that is being asked? How do I honor the beingness in how I show up in the world? And we can do this, you know, Eckhart Tolle talks about the doingness from an awakened space as anything from how you're showing up at the supermarket, like how you're showing up to the people at your house, what you do on your way out of here, right? Like that can be a very conscious, awakened doing. And that doesn't take away from our ability to also ask ourselves, well, what about other goals that I have? What are greater visions of how I want to show up in the world? We talk about, you know, Steve, during that video for the gala, he was preaching, we are all unique expressions of God. I hope you heard that. And so if we are unique expressions of God and there is no one like us showing up in the world because we are just so unique, then why would we ever keep that from others? Why would we not live into our uniqueness and the unique ways in which we have been fortified, created to be able to provide something for our human family? You know, like, be clear about your purpose. Be clear about that greater purpose that you have, right? Like, so in one of our abundance courses, we're talking about purpose. I wrote mine quite a few years ago, to boldly and compassionately awaken the human family. What's yours? What is your divine purpose within and outside? And if you know what it is, then maybe this is just an opportunity for you to recommit yourself to it or to get a little bit more clear about the next step and how that's going to show up. And if you aren't aware of what your divine purpose in the world is, then this is an opportunity to say that you are willing to go within and honor it and get clear and start living into your greater purpose. Because so many times we keep ourselves from doing that. You know, we think our purpose is informed not by what is happening within us and who we are, but outside of us, right? Like how many people, their first career was what your parents, thought that you should do, or guidance counselors thought that you should do. Or it was because, there was a passion for you, but you were scared about how you were going to be judged if you just went out and tried to live your passions. I remember when I graduated from high school, so many of my classmates got into being nurses because there was a shortage of nurses. It didn't matter if they were like meant to be nurses, good at being nurses, loved being nurses, but it was like, that's how I'll find my security, because there's job security out there. Well, the more that we rely on the security of our being for outside of us rather than from what is happening within us, the more that we will recognize we were just heading in the wrong direction. Or maybe we were close enough, but we aren't fully on the road that we were meant to be on. Marianne Williamson reminds us, right, that our biggest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our biggest fear is that we are just so powerful that we may not even know how to contain it, how to express it. And it takes responsibility. The greater the power, the greater responsibility. And you're equipped for this. And we were created for this. And God said, yes, be it done. And here we are like, well, I don't know, right? I don't know. But the invitation is for us to really own it. And one of the things about being awakened in our doing is that it really shows up in wonderful ways, and it invites us to live out in wonderful ways. Eckhart Tolle says, awakened doing is the alignment of your outer purpose, what you do with your inner purpose, awakening and staying awake. Through awakened doing, you become one with the outgoing purpose of the universe. See, you go within, but there is a push to move out. Consciousness flows through you into this world. It flows into your thoughts and inspires them. It flows into what you do and guides and empowers it. And so the more that we are in alignment with that, the more that we will flow with that. And then if we get caught up along the way, right, like it's wonderful. It's a friendly, loving universe. And so it provides us tools and it brings us signs to make us realize maybe we aren't fully going into the beingness to inspire our doingness. And we get an opportunity to do so, because Eckhart Tolle says there are 3 ways that you can know if you are living on purpose and being and doing in harmony with each other. And good luck. It's good luck for us. It doesn't have to be all 3, but he says we should at least have one of these happening as we move through life. And one of them is acceptance. Right? Like, can we accept that which is within us? If we can accept our truth, if we can accept what is the opportunity before us, if we can accept what is being called for us, then it's just an invitation to go again once to the beingness and just sit with that to inspire us to see whether it is something for us to do. Joy is bringing joy to our lives. And one of the things that I loved in one of his quotes, actually, he says that joy does not come from what you do, it flows into what you do, and thus into the world from deep within you. See, so it's not even that thing brings joy to your life. Does it inspire your joy to show up in those things that you do? And then the third thing is, are you enthusiastic about it? Is there zeal? In Unity, we have the 12 powers, and the power of zeal, enthusiasm, excitement for what you are here to offer the world. So who wants to go on a little ride with me this week? Let me just tell you that at the first service, before I even finished that sentence, somebody raised their hand. You're like, I'm all in. So who would like to, let me rephrase it. Who would like to go into a practice with me this week? All right, some of you still need to hear it before you say yes. I'll honor that. I don't agree with it, but I honor it. All right, so here's what it is. This whole week, anytime you start a new endeavor, a new opportunity comes before you, whatever it may be, even if you want to make it your moment-by-moment practice of going to the supermarket, ask yourself, am I in acceptance or am I pushing this away? Right? Like, am I allowing this or am I not fully at peace with this? Does it bring me love? Does it inspire love in me, joy in me? And then enthusiasm, am I excited about it? And if your answer to any of those is a yes, go for it. Try it out. If your answer to any of those, to all of those, is a no, what are you going to do? Take a step back, pause. Inner purpose, inspiring outer purpose. Inner being, inspiring how we show up in the world. You don't have to do the things that aren't inspired by your beingness. And get out of the fear of what it would mean if you actually said, no, that's not for me to do. So now, will you join me on this practice this week? Okay, much better. See, here's the thing. I think that the moment that we recognize our inner purpose and our outer purpose and bring harmony into it is the moment that we become really alive in the world. Mark Twain actually says that the most important days in our lives are the day that you were born and the day you discover the reason why. Discovering the reason why is a moment-by-moment rediscovery. Allow yourself to rediscover your why, and allow that to be what fuels the way in which not only do you step into a greater awareness of God, but the way in which you bring more of God into the world. And in that way, not only are we blessed, but we recognize that we are a great blessing. Namaste, and thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Juan. Thank you for bringing yourself, you. And like I said this morning in the 9:30, for modeling the joy of awakened doing. There's one of the India's great, Ramana Maharshi, I don't know, kept coming to me. He used to say that the greatest gift we can give the world is the gift of our self-realization. And that gift of self-realization comes from the awareness that we need to find spaces in our daily routines to be, and know that the more we are anchored in that true selves, the more we'll be in alignment with the doing. And in that connection, it's all that Juan was saying, the joy and the enthusiasm. So we set that intention for all of us this week. Thank you again, Reverend Juan. And really looking forward to this new chapter together. Thank you very much. We believe here in unity, in every unity, as a movement, as a philosophy, and Unity on the Bay, that there's a spiritual law of giving and receiving, and this is the time which we get to express our beingness in the form of generosity. So an opportunity to give now, and we highly encourage that you do that the green way, which is by texting this number on the screen. I have used it now several times, and it's wonderful. Once you get your credit card number, that's it. You can just text next time, and I learned that expression here, easy peasy. From Dale. Yeah, Dale told me that. Anyway, but also if you need an envelope, our ushers are going around and you're welcome to raise your hand and get an envelope. Let's hold a moment of silence in which we are practicing the beingness. Might be that you don't necessarily give today, but you're a constant giver, but just hold the consciousness of giving and generosity during this time. Thank you, and now it is the time which we're going to bless our gifts by doing this affirmation together. Divine love that I am blesses all that I give and all that I receive. And before we take off today, we started off by talking about our children, and we will culminate our service by really extending a blessing to all of them. I like to think that as we open our hearts, they open theirs, and they receive the love, which is our gift of our beingness nature. We are indeed love. So come again in awareness to that place within yourself as love, and we say together, children, we love you, we bless you, We appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you, and we see you doing great, great things. Reverend Juan, please step up, and we remind everybody that our prayer chaplains are here to pray with you if you are in need or you're in gratitude. Sometimes prayer is about just saying, I want to pray with you and be thankful.
And this is a great opportunity to ask you to hold me in prayer. It's not lost on me that, so Sunday is the installation, and Saturday I am going to be moving through one of my fears and uncomfortability. So I was asked by one of our congregants to be part of Educate Tomorrow's Over the Edge. And what that means is that next Saturday, to support Educate Tomorrow, which is a great nonprofit organization, I'm going to be rappelling down an 8-story building. Facing the fears, right? And we get to do it together. So this is what I'm asking of you. Check out our social media next Saturday around 2:30, because then you'll get to see me and send me blessings along the way. And if you want to learn more about Educate Tomorrow and the Over the Edge program, you can go to their website, educatetomorrow.org. Hold it in prayer and have fun with me. All right, with that, let us stand so that we can say our prayer for protection and follow that with our peace song. Together, let us affirm. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is